welcome back to Face It with Dr. G. I'm Dr. G, and I have the pleasure and honor of being here virtually with the one and only Erika Berry. She is so impressive in so many aspects of her personal life, personal struggles, business journey, and mentorship, and we want to dive into all of it. I can't wait. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited for this. Came to DC, my DC location, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do Soul Cycle first, and then I'll bring a change of clothes and get all hot for this podcast. No, forgot it at home. So I'm like, hey, I'm in my sweaty, my University of Miami cocaine's hoodie, but you just got to roll with the punches. And some days you forget a change of clothes, and this is how I am.
Yeah, and that's what makes you relatable. And that leads me to my first question of, where do you get all of your energy? Because I get that question all the time.
Drugs. No, I go to bed. I have very, very good boundaries. I go to bed at usually 8 p.m. every night. I turn off to the world. I'm like, bye husband, bye dogs, bye baby. I get into my bed. I read my Kindle for about an hour and review my next day. But I'm very, very dangerously consistent. And I go to bed at the same time every night. I don't drink alcohol Monday through Friday. I don't have a social life. I literally just go to bed. Friday night, I have my fun, I go out, and then I'm a wreck the next day. So that's what it is. There's no way you're going to be able to get up at 5 a.m. There's no way you can work out at 5 a.m. if you don't go to bed at 8 or 9 p.m. Some people have a hard time getting up in the morning. I'm like, well, tell me about your nighttime routine. What are you doing at night? And they're like, oh, well, I'm on my iPhone, I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling Instagram. I'm like, you can't, that's the death scroll. Anytime you're scrolling after 9 p.m., put your phone down, go to sleep. It's so important.
Yeah, I always was a morning person. Soul Cycle 5:30 a.m. Through every pregnancy, and it was my savior. And then I got into this bad run of staying up late, and you think you're productive, and you think you're getting things done, and at the end of the day, you wake up exhausted. You can't wake up. So I've gotten back into waking up early, and it's going to bed at the right time. And the mornings are so sacred. They're quiet. Yeah. You're clearer in your mind. I've been going for long walks, so I love that.
Yeah. But it's everything in life is definitely practice. So no one wants to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't want to get up that early. You just have to force yourself for the first, I'd say 2 to 3 months, force yourself to get up. Just drag your ass out of bed and just throw yourself on a treadmill. Have a terrible workout, but it's better than to me staying in bed. And that is the drug that fuels me to see 40 patients, to consult everyone, to do a good job, to be on my A game. But without exercise in the morning, I'm kind of mean. I'm not a nice person when I don't exercise. My employees are get away from me if you don't exercise.
Yeah. And ripping yourself out of bed at 5, I was reading something. It's you don't have to think about getting out of bed. Just make one move, move your leg and then move your body. And then you're pretty much up, you're there.
Yeah, I love Mel Robbins. She has the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method.
Oh, is that where it was? Yeah, is that?
Yeah, so you just count to yourself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You don't press snooze. You can disable the snooze from your alarm. Just take it off, and put your cell phone. I did this in college all the time. I'd put my cell phone across the room, and then you physically have to get out of bed and walk across the room to turn it off.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So now we're up and awake and so excited and have had all the caffeine.
Now we're here. 11 hours later, here we are.
11 hours later.
Yeah.
So talk to me. I think people have a lot of questions about you and your enormous explosion of success in so many aspects of your life. One thing that to me is so incredible is your authenticity, among other things. And being authentic is really hard. My question to you is, does that come naturally? And are there things in your life that you don't share? Because it seems that you share a lot, from IVF to whatever else, all the things.
Yeah. I share it all. We were just talking about this. V and I were just talking about oh, I have secrets, and she's like, you don't have a secret. And I definitely just have verbal diarrhea, and I cannot contain myself so much that I'm like, why? But it's a feedback mechanism. I get rewarded for being authentic or having authenticity or being authentic. So on Instagram or on social media right now, people don't care about brands. They don't give a shit about oh, this is this brand, or that they care about connection and people. So I'm definitely rewarded on social media when I share oh, my big pimple, or I have food in my teeth, or look how ugly I was before, or showing the before and afters. People resonate with that. Oh my gosh, I felt that way, or I have infertility, or I work too much, or I have this issue. So I think people like that. For me, it's the only way I can be. Like, I don't like surface level anything,
Yeah.
surface level friendships,
Small talk.
surface level. Like, I cannot deal with that. I almost rather someone be mean to me than to be fake to me.
Yeah.
But
I
you
agree.
know, because I think all day long we're like walking into a room with patients, and all day long we're being, "Hi, how are you?" When we're like dying on the inside, or we're on our period, or we're going through something. But you have to be that way. You have to show up for your patients 110% of the time. That it's in my real life. I have to be real.
Yeah. And how does Thomas feel about that? Is he obviously has to be okay with you sharing your entire life? And I think a lot of people wouldn't be okay with that.
Oh no, he fucking hates it. He he hates it, and we've had many fights about it. But I basically sat him down one day because my success has not been overnight. I've been doing this since 2000, my social media showing our life since 2014. So I remember like maybe 3 years into it, he's like, "This is like obscene, like you coming in and like putting this camera in my face." I'm like, "Yeah, but sorry, this is how I have my patients. I've grown my businesses, and I'm like, this is what I need to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. Like, either you're along for the ride or you're not." We were married at that point, yeah. So it was like a conversation, and we sat down, and I was like, "Listen, I know it's annoying, but this is how it is," and he kind of just accepted it. So
Yeah. And I
we
love
are
that.
very
Yeah.
different people.
Relationship. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're starkly different.
Yeah. So, okay. So you started in 2014-ish, went into
Well, I
stuff.
started probably 2011, but then I started my Instagram. So I came like out of the hospital setting, and then went from the hospital setting with all surgeons, derms, and you kind of were like just handed your patients, to then I moved from San Francisco back to DC, and I started working in med spas, and I was like so perplexed by you have to like cultivate your own patients. I was like, what in the hell? Like, I was so used to the hospital system. So, the hospital system, like you're overwhelmed by patients, that now in the med spa world, you have to brand yourself. And I was like, how the hell am I gonna get a patient? Like, I had no idea. So one of the girls I was working with was an esthetician. She had Instagram. I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. And I just like look back on those cringy posts, like the things oh my God. But I just got on there for better or for worse, and I posted every day, and like would post when I had an opening, and then watch it get filled. It was slow, like when I first started in the med spa, and this is what injectors need to hear. It is not easy. And I started with, and anyone that tells you otherwise is lying to you. I started with one patient in the morning at like 9 a.m. and then one patient at like 5 p.m. The whole day was empty. And I was like, instead of me sitting here and just being a bump in a log, I'm going to, learn how to do Instagram. So I YouTubed it. I went on YouTube and watched videos, um, like bumped my way through it, but that's what I did. And then I ended up with like maybe 3 patients a day. And then for a good 2 years, I would come home with like a $500 check. I'm like, look what I made. My husband's like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, this seems insane.
It's the right
But it
choice.
is not, yeah, it's not easy. Like, you have to build your brand. It takes years. I'm saying a good brand, like the studies I've read, and the research I've done, it takes about 4 to 5 years to build a hardcore foundation of a brand.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
And it's not like, it's not steady. It's like ups, downs, up, you fall on your face, you say something politically incorrect, you misrepresent yourself. Like, it's not a linear thread. It's definitely like ups and downs, up
Yeah.
and down. You know that. You've built a huge brand.
Yeah, yeah. And so my question to you also is, what I'm so impressed with you is I've created G-Face MD that started with my face, and it was all me. And my goal is to transition out of it, so it's the brand and my, 9 injectors and all of that, which I've done a very good job, and that's a whole other topic. But you maintain, because you obviously want to, and it's your passion, your personal brand and your company, which is co-owned, correct? Explain to me how you do that.
Oh, Gretchen, I like and this is healthy to hear. I try to say this a lot on Patreon. At a weekly basis, I'm like, I want to fucking quit. I want to sell. So right now, I have Botox Bunny LLC, which is my LLC, like Patreon, my trainings, whatever, Podium. Then I have Moksha Aesthetics, which I co-own, and that's in Potomac with Panya Khorshidi. And then I co-own practice in DC called Resculpt Aesthetics with Libby, my bestie. She's sitting behind the camera here.
She is. Oh.
Yeah, she'll kill me right now for sure. But we have like a setup of goldfish is where
Oh,
I
I
have
love
a
it.
huge box, and there's no balance, and there's no like I spend X amount of time on this and X amount of time. It's like I go in a day, I figure out my kid's situation, I figure out my husband's situation, and then I just like throw myself in the day and figure it out. And some days it's great and some days it's not.
So when you co-own a business though, how do you and co-own two businesses?
Yeah.
Are you in constant communication? I mean, because as from personal experience, as this company grows, I'm really out of the day-to-day now because we have director of operations, chief growth officer, et cetera, that really fuels the company. And I'm over here like la la la, but it's the huge decisions, the very difficult ones that you have to make more sporadically. But how do you do that? How do you work together?
Moksha, I'm a lot of hands off. I inject there 1 day a week, but that one's been set up for like 6 years now, and we same thing. We have a practice manager, and it's like running itself. I have like 7 injectors there. It's chilling. Sculpt's our baby, and Libby and I literally talk more than I talk with my husband. I'm like da 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 all day long, like back and forth. But she manages my brand, my Erika Berry brand, like Botox Buddy brand, and Resculpt. So we talk all day long because it's talking about brands and networking, and you're speaking at this conference and you're doing this dinner. And so she manages that side and the Resculpts. So she's the brains. Like she does all of the brand partnerships and everything. She handles that, and I do not micromanage. So for me, she'll be like, yep, we ordered Radius. Like, too bad, so sad. This is what we're doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I don't have the bandwidth to micromanage, and nor do I want to. So it works really well where she's the alpha, I guess. Like she's the brains and I'm definitely a workhorse, and I just put my head down and I really focus well when I'm seeing patients and doing kind of the workhorse business. Does that make sense?
But the roles are clear, right? And yeah, I mean, you have to micromanage when you start because you're the only one and you only know that you're learning how to do it anyway. So you have to figure it out in order to delegate. But once you delegate and you have that trust and you let those people fly and create themselves as well, it's so beautiful. I mean, a lot of the time I'm like, does my team really think that I built this? Because I'm over here while I'm letting them do but that's their purpose. Like, it's amazing to watch. But I think it's...
I'm definitely into... It is, but I think it's survival of the fittest in a good way where at first, and this is good to hear too, like you're gonna like butt heads and like you have to fight it out. Like Libby and I had that too at the beginning. Like we fought in a good way because we didn't know our roles. And the more you like have that good conflict, it's like conflict and then resolution. Conflict, like that's like the constant, it's like a marriage. Like you constantly kind of teeter-totter, but the people that aren't self-aware don't do well, like have a lot of faults, but I'm very self-aware. So I think that's the key to being a good business owner is being self-aware, realizing when you're being an asshole, have someone to call you out. You need someone, not a yes person. You need someone on your team that's going to say, you're acting insane. Like, and Libby's that person for me, like, you are acting insane. Stop, like just breathe and chill out. This will be fine.
I love that you said that because that is something I've always had is self-awareness. And I've always been a people pleaser, but I've transferred that into and getting rid of my perfectionism qualities to self-awareness. And when I'm feeling manic, I will walk into the office and I'll be like, okay, guys, just want to let you know where I sit right now in my mind. Just give me a couple minutes, and I think it just allows for that transparency. And I think transparency is huge with your team, right? Authenticity and transparency. So I love that. I'm not surprised that you are that way. Okay. So let's get into, you started working for med spas, then you built your med spa. And you have injectors there. Who manages them? Not that they need to be managed, but they're still working for your company. So who helps with that?
Our practice managers. So the Moksha one, again, self-sufficient. I trained those girls from being babies. So they all were, the way I started it is they were my assistants first, like my medical assistants. They're on literally like physically on my hip all day long, like walking with me everywhere. They see every injection, every consultation, every patient interaction. Usually it's about like 6 months to a year. And then I transition them into injectors. So it's like because it's hard. I'm sure you get asked this all the time, like, how do I build something? I'm like, oh my God, like years, because you have to train them. And and for me, like, I love just someone with a good personality, like hustler. I don't care what you look like. I don't care, anything about you, but I care that you're a hustler and that you're going to work hard. And that's it. And then it just takes time to kind of build them. But that we have a practice manager, that's all managed. Resculpt our baby. It's been open for about a year and a couple months. So it's still like training all the babies and kind of getting our foothold, but it's done really well. We're in Georgetown and we're loving it. It's just, we're falling on our faces every day. Like not one day goes by where it's like, smooth sailing. Today was so easy. It's like this patient has this issue and then this went down and then this machine's not working. Or like, that's just being an aesthetics. Like if you're not good with jumping over hurdles, and I say just take one hurdle at a time, like one issue, solve it, pivot, move on. And if you're able to pivot and learn from that, then you won't have as many issues. But the first year you're open and you're like, holy shit, like from contractor issues, you're like, okay, I need
Right.
tequila immediately.
Mm.
Like, bring me a shot of something.
Yeah. So then you started your Patreon. We'll get into that. But let's talk about the
Yeah.
conferences because,
Yeah.
for people like me, when I met you, you were starting to speak, but then it's like you're everywhere, right? And you really
Yeah.
push the limits when it comes to traveling. And you have, your little baby, and it's not really a baby anymore.
Mhm.
But
He's 4 right now.
it's crazy. You speak all over. So I want to hear, number one, what's the motivation for you to speak at all these things? How do you choose? And
Yeah.
how do you demand a pay that is worth your time being away from your practices?
Yeah, I mean those are really great, very good questions. Number one, and I actually just listened to this awesome podcast. It's this psychiatrist. He's actually a Harvard professor, and he
Wait,
talks
which
about
one?
like
Which one?
it's the Him and Her podcast with Lauren Bostick,
Okay, yeah.
and it was just I'll send you the link. It's this really good podcast. I'm just listening to it now. But he's a Harvard professor, he's a psychiatrist, but he talks about like the feedback mechanism for success and how people that are successful are not necessarily happy or fulfilled because we basically get this dopamine rush every time we get an achievement. We like feel this like rush. It's like basically they've studied high achievers' brains and they're on track to being like meth heads, like the same issues that like amphetamine, like people that are obsessed with meth have. Like it's the same dopamine surge. And that's definitely like, truth be told, like it feels fabulous to be told like, good job, you're amazing, like love you. But I also get a rush out of educating people. And it feels really good when someone says like, I was able to build this med spa because of your Patreon. Like that is a better feeling than a paycheck. Like, I don't care who you are. Like money is just money and money buys you some cool shit. Yeah. But like end of the day, I feel good about what I do. And it feels really good to give something to someone that they can like build a life on and raise kids on. Like that feels fabulous. And I'm a nerd and I love researching different subjects to speak on podium for. It makes me a better injector to run my business and to train my injectors. Nothing makes you study more than being like, holy shit, I have to speak in front of 500 people. Like I better know everything and create an amazing PowerPoint. Negotiating pay, I don't do at all. Libby does all of that. So she's
Okay.
a badass. She's worked in talent management in LA with like some of the top YouTubers. So she really knows what my worth is. I am a people pleaser. So I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And Libby's like, no. Please go through me. I'll tell you her rates. Tell me she calls it deliverables. And then, okay, so we want Erika to speak on 5 things, 3 different days, fly to Scottsdale or whatever. She'll be like, okay, well, this is X amount of money. So for the first probably 3 years of speaking at these conferences, I did it for little to no pay. Probably took a lot of hit on my business because I was getting my credibility. So if you want to get into this and speaking, you have to think about 3 years of basically not getting paid to do this. And then the more credibility you have and the more people want you to speak at their conference, then you can demand more. But don't go into demanding or people are going to be like, what? So do it for the love of educating. Don't do it for the love of money because the money is in the business. The money is not me taking time from my business to fly. Love connecting with different injectors and I love conferences. I learned something. I'm like, I am paid to fly to a beautiful location and learn. Like that is such a privilege.
Yeah, I agree. At a point when
Yeah.
then you have your family and you have, your
Oh
husband
yeah.
and your babies, everything. It's just what gives at a certain point. But I agree
Yeah.
with you. You have to, the people who learn the most ask the most questions and they teach. And you never go after it because of the money. You do it because you love it. The money will come. I mean, that's a phrase that's used over and over again.
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to, I know we talked about this before we got on, but when it comes
Yeah.
to companies, how are you able to speak for Juvo, Daxify, Dysport? Yes, they
Yeah.
all have differences, but then even translating over to the devices, the energy devices that you speak for, how do you speak for all of them and feel that you're really connecting with the consumer and the company?
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that we were going to talk on this because being authentic, I have made many mistakes in my career, many mistakes, like God, awful mistakes, business mistakes that I could write a book on. And definitely the biggest mistake is probably trying to be a yes person and be like, yes, I would love to speak for, yes, I would love to do that. Truth be told, in my practice, I'm almost exclusively RHA and Revance with a lot of Galderma. So I do a lot of Sculptra, a lot of Dysport, a lot of Daxi, a lot of Jeuveau with the neuromodulators. That's my bread and butter. So I'm a neuromodulator queen. I use all of them The truth is, Yaxify, Juvo were probably my favorites. Tebow, I'm starting in. I really love the Tebow. But yeah, I speak heavily for RHA, and I train for Galderma, but I don't speak a lot for Galderma. When it comes to devices, I'm like, you know what? They're all kind of the same. They're all kind of the same except for, Cartessa I really like because I like the CEO. I like Gabe a lot and I like working with them, and their devices are really incredible. I'll try speaking for a company, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I might try it, and then people are like, how dare you speak for this company? Like Latigo, I did a dinner for them and people were like outraged. I'm like, what? They're new on the street. I'm gonna be the first person in high school and college. I was the first person to go up to someone and be like, "Hi, I'm Erika. Nice to meet you." Like that is my personality. I'm gonna come sit at my table. Like I'm annoyingly friendly, but when it comes to companies, same way. I'll give you a try. Might not work out, and I definitely have worked with companies that never will work with me again because I'm very honest. And when someone asks me a question, I'm gonna be honest with them. And not every company loves that. So I got in big trouble with one company per se because I was very honest with an injector that recorded me. And I still am glad she played it for the company, but she said, "Hey, I'm a new injector, brand new. I don't have much money. I'm a doctor. I'm going to open my own practice. Do you think I should bring on X company? These are my budget constraints." I said, "Given your budget constraints, given your skill level, I don't think you should bring that company on. I think you should bring this company on instead. It's going to save you thousands of dollars." And I got in trouble. And I was like, you know what? If that gets me in trouble, then I don't want to be part of your company anyway.
Honestly, I think it's disgusting and I'm speechless. I mean, I think that you did the right thing, and you did the right thing for her because she wants your true opinion. What are you going to do? Lie to her? But, on the flip side, it's like everything happens for a reason. If a company is going to treat you that way, again, why would you ever want to work with them?
And you can't work with like you said, you can't work with every company. Like that's not truthful and that's not credible. And you have to represent what you truly believe in. And I'll dabble in things and then I'll realize, and Libby's the first to be like, you can't work with that brand. You don't even use that brand. Like you can't use that. And so she'll set me straight. But for me, I'm like, ooh, it's a shiny new toy. Like, let me play with it. And then I'll learn it's not for me.
Yeah. I think that's fantastic. And I think everyone's, you want to work together with everyone, but you also want to be personally successful, right? When it comes to companies, everyone has their own motivation. Why are they really doing this? And I really became aware of it when a certain someone was like, "No, we don't let reps in our office." And I was like, "Interesting. You don't let reps in your office?" He's like, "No." And he's like, "They aren't there to support you. They're going to either poach your injectors, they're going to start gossip, they're going to do this, they're going to do that." And I was like, this is interesting. So now we have a company-wide policy where injectors are not allowed to interact with reps, not allowed to exchange information. It goes through one funnel because they want to sell product. The injectors don't choose how much to buy, what to buy. We have discussions about it, but it's just so twisted and convoluted, and you have to stand up for yourself, right? You want to work with people that you feel are genuine. A company I know you love is Evolus. They have been so wonderful to us, just with who they are as people. And I think that's the most important thing. It's palpable. It's really palpable.
No, they want you to succeed. You can feel it. And it's funny because when people ask us what do you do about reps? I'm like, honestly, our two best friends are reps, our Galderma rep and our Advance rep. And it's weird because it's well, they're also our best friends. They're in all the time, and it doesn't bother me at all. I'm very rep friendly because it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You want me to post for you? Okay. Right. Here's the truth. You give me a couple of product, give me a couple of samples.
You've created with those two people versus
all. Yeah. No, and we love Evolus. Evolus has been so good to us. Evolus has been so good to my career, and I owe them a lot. They definitely taught me how to brand myself. So I'm always a fan of, if you're a brand new injector and you want to open your own business, freaking do it. Get an Evolus account. You can get a Revance account easily. I think they treat you really well. So.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. What would you say, I know you've been through personal things that you've shared socially, publicly. What would you say was the hardest thing you had to go through? Maybe the biggest business thing, personal thing. What's been your biggest struggle?
Yeah, I think I'm going through it right now. I think my biggest struggle is my why and again, addicted to success and addicted to more and more and more. And it's personally putting the brakes on my career, not brakes in my career, but not like I keep expanding and another location and another location, is just prioritizing my family and my health and being like, Erica, you can't work 14 hours a day and like not eat, like eat a granola bar. Like that's not healthy. So I think being like turning 40 was an eye-opening experience because like I got sore. I remember like injecting, it was like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, shit, I'm sore from injecting all day. Like that's never happened to me. Such a go-getter, but like really peeling back and being self-aware of time and realizing time is not always with you and you have to prioritize your family. And at the end of the day, when you're 80 and you're on your front porch, what are you going to be sorry for? And for me, it can be not prioritizing making, like you have 3 kids, like making more babies. So peeling back and saying no to a lot, like I've said no to 2 big conferences. And I was so like crying over like, oh, I cannot believe I just said no to these people. Like they're so important. And my husband's like, no, like that's Christmas time. Like you need to be with your family. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But it's hard when you're a people pleaser and you're success driven to a dopamine hit. It's like a freaking drug. It's an addiction. So that's personally what I'm going through right now. And it's not going to be a one and done. It's not going to be a one day thing. It's going to be a whole year of kind of struggle bus. So I know
I'll
that.
give you a lot of credit because you're obviously very in tune with it and you're aware of it
Yeah.
and you're making changes, which is awesome. And you have your husband to go through it with you, you know?
Yeah. For better or for worse, he's very balanced and very, what's the word? Not delusional. I
Yeah.
think if you work
Yeah.
in medicine, I think you have to be a little bit crazy. Like for you to go to medical school and to do what you've done, like we're all a little bit tweaked. Like every conference that I go to, I'm like, we're all crazy and we're all in one room together. Like we are not well. We all need like group therapy.
Yeah, and you
Right.
know, the book Unreasonable Hospitality, I talk about it all the time, but we have to have unreasonable minds to be business owners, to do what we do. You have to think outside
Oh
the
yeah.
box. You have to be extremely optimistic, and you also have to be really confident, and be able to
Yeah.
understand when you make mistakes and when you don't and honor them. So it's all of these things, but it's also, I posted something recently about each new phase requires a different you. So a different part of you,
100%.
a different person, a different phase of your life, a different mind. And that's where the growth is. So not only are we growing ourselves, our business, we're like reading, we're really trying to work on ourselves, which I think is important. Okay, what's the biggest mistake you've made? Because you said you've made some mistakes when it comes to the business side, but in general, what would be the biggest mistake you made?
Shit.
We can come back to it.
I mean, I think just thinking I can do it all. I think that is definitely like there was this crazy study, this was out of Harvard too, recently about like women and what were like in 2025 what women are signed up to do versus in like 1950 where like I'm the first woman in my family to work. Like first woman to like my grandmother didn't work, my mom didn't work, like my female cousins, I have 2 female cousins, they're stay-at-home moms, went to college but never worked. Like I come from a super conservative family, like conservative where like you get married, your job is to go to college, find a man, settle down. And then so my mom was like perplexed, like what like what are you doing? You can't be a amazing mom, amazing wife, amazing, like you can't do it all. Like, and that there's that great Shonda Rhimes speech she gave at the graduation. Like, when I'm being an amazing mom, my business is suffering, and when my business is going amazing, and like Grey's Anatomy is kicking ass, like my children are suffering. Like, it's never this or that. So I think my biggest mistake is thinking I can do it all, and the pressure that you have as a mom is insurmountable. Like no man, and that's like for men, I want to like punch them in their face sometimes. I'm like, you guys will never get it. Like women have so much pressure on us. So freaking give yourself a break. Have a margarita at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday if you have to, because this shit's hard. And the more you let yourself breathe or cry or go on a hike or like disappear for an hour, the healthier you will be for your children. So I've learned to give myself grace, which I didn't do. The first like 3 years of Jack's life, I was so hard on myself. And now I'm like, F it. Okay, I forgot to brush his teeth this morning. Like, go kill me. Like,
He'll be just fine. And it is.
he'll
I
be just
really
fine.
think of quality over quantity. I mean, yeah, with my 3
Hmm.
kids, it's, you know, I involve them in the company over the summer. It's like they have camp one week and then they come and they work for one week, you know?
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, let's build that resume. Let's get you going, come and help, this
So
and that.
healthy.
Yes, it's like, how can I help them with real life? And it's just that constant relationship. But again, quality over quantity and not being too hard on yourself. And it's hard, but
Yeah. It doesn't get easier. And I think once that mind shift, that mental mind shift is, everyone's like, when will I be balanced? I'm like, it's not about the destination. It really is enjoying the gritty. If you enjoy the grit, like I personally enjoy the grit and I enjoy like the small wins. I don't give a shit about PE and everyone's like, are you selling? And this is what are you going on? We want that 12 EBITDA. I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. Like I really enjoy the nitty gritty. And that's why I love conferences. Like I love preparing for conferences. Like I'm a nerd, like for a conference, Aesthetic Next or AES or AmSpa, I literally take the conference calendar and I highlight all the talks. I was so mad because you and I were speaking at the same time. I'm like, I can't go see Gretchen's talk. Like, I think just those things are really excite me. And if you get excited by those, you're going to be just fine. If you get excited with the little things, you're going to be great. It's the people that are wanting these big, huge buyouts and the seventh location. I'm like, oh my God, like you're going to have a headache because you're never going to be happy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm struggling with right now because I've realized through all of it is that, yeah, I love to speak and I love to learn and all that, but I so love the business side, which is different from you. And I love creating people and businesses and brands and structures and all this craziness. And now we opened the third location. And I'm like, where's the fourth? But it's like, you're nuts. I mean, it's like, can't you just be? And the goal, okay, sell, but that's not even on my radar. I just like the creativity of creation of a beautiful space that can take care of people.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know.
Well, we'll probably do a third location, probably in Florida, because you and I are like Floridians at heart.
Yeah.
I'm an East Coast Florida girly. Aren't you a West Coast Florida girly? Aren't you like a
St. Pete, Tampa? But I do love Palm Beach. I was thinking Palm Beach, Naples, but it's different there. Yeah.
You should do Naples. You do Naples, I'll do Boca.
Yeah.
Naples would you would be their queen. They would like hoist you up. Like they would love you. We have one of our houses in Naples and we go and there's really good injectors there, but it's like very dominated by more mature plastics. So I think a lot of injectors are craving like a young G face. Like they need a G face down there.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Real estate down there is hard. Yeah. And Palm Beach is great too. But again, it's like going out of state for me. That's a whole other thing. So you have to
say less. I had this fantasy of like living in Florida full time and then flying back to DC. And my husband's like, are you insane? How are you going to do that? I'm like, I don't know. Get on a plane. What we need, you and I need a private plane. Like we can share one. Like you can get it and then it'll drop me off in DC. Like that's what I really need is a private plane.
It is, and it makes life so much easier for so many reasons. But it's just you can't be in all these places at once. So making sure everything is working really well where we are. Do we do another one here and then go out of state? But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
What's the next conference you're going to go to?
Next conference, I have not been to any. I mean, I've been to I think one this year.
AmSpa. I saw you.
MSS. Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay.
That's the only one. Aesthetic Next, I may just be there for a day or two. My whole team is going. We have a booth for our conference.
Yay.
And they really want to go and learn and everything. So that one I'll be for 2 days. And then thinking about WOW only because Kathy keeps being in touch. Are you coming? Are you coming? And honestly, I haven't even thought about it. And then
we're going to go.
Okay.
It'll be fun. Terranea is beautiful. It's in Palos Verdes. It's like this gorgeous place. They have a great spa. And if anything, I'm just like, this is a secret too. Please just go to a conference and just skip the lectures. Like, don't even go. Like, it's okay to go to a conference and see 1 or 2 lectures and then sit your ass by the pool and just disassociate for a weekend. Like, I think that's really healthy. And leave the kids at home, leave the husband at home, get on a plane and go. Like, I'm going to Palos Verdes in October, but it's so beautiful and it's like literally in this little nook, this little like. They filmed Jurassic Park there. They filmed like some of the White Lotus episodes there. Like it is so good.
Okay. I'll look at it. Yeah, Kathy's like on me. I'm like, I don't know.
Tell her I said that you have to come.
Okay, I'll come. I mean, it sounds great. It's right before my conference, so it would almost be an escape to get there. But okay.
Tell us about your conference.
Oh, my conference. It'll be the 3rd year live, Face It Live. So it's ultrasound and aesthetics, which continues to grow and evolve. And it's not just for complication management. It's for all different types of things. We're actually potentially going to have fat transfer. A plastic surgeon can do fat transfer with ultrasound, which is incredible. We have all of these complication panels. We have international faculty this year. We're doing threads. We have like basic, so we have people that have come every year. So I'm like, I have to keep switching it up. But kind of the basic 101 of how to use an ultrasound machine all the way up to the most crazy complications is going to be amazing.
Oh my God, that sounds
It's
incredible.
going
I
to be,
really need to use like our Moksha location has an ultrasound, but we don't have one in the resculpt. So we see so many complications in the area that I'm like, oh shit, I have to drive my ass to Potomac. But I really need to get an ultrasound here, and I have a business idea. I'm sure you've already thought of this. You need to make your own ultrasound, a G-face ultrasound that's like cute, portable, maybe like a. I want you to create your own ultrasound. Like I would buy that.
wow. I actually didn't think about that.
I think make it cute, user friendly, portable, something you can even travel with. Like a lot of people travel, something that would be, I think that's a great idea.
It is a great idea. It's a great idea. Okay, I'll put that on my list. I'll look into that.
Yeah.
But I just love it. I think that it's just so fascinating. It helps people learn the anatomy. They become better injectors. All of this. We are blindly injecting. Yeah, no, not everyone's going to have it all at once. But in the future, I think people need to be comfortable using it. Just know the
Oh,
basics. Just understand it. It's important.
yeah. 100%. For me, like every complication that any Patreon person texts me, probably like every other day, I'll get like, okay, what do you think this is? I'm like, fuck if I know. I can't tell anything over. Give me a baseline ultrasound or give me an ultrasound. Like, tell me what are you concerned about? Like, what vessel are you concerned about? They're like, oh, I don't know, or I don't have an ultrasound. I'm like, dude, I have no idea. If you've already flooded the area with Hylenex, don't just keep flooding it. Like the new protocol is cap refill, like assess for cap refill first, then do a minimal amount of Hylenex superficially to get into the artery. But if you don't use an ultrasound, how do you know where that vessel is? And like, what vessel are you going after? Get me the ultrasound. And you can't just get an ultrasound and not know how to use it either. That's a liability lawsuit waiting for you. Like you have to be, I think doing a conference like yours is clutch. You need to be able to spend time and see multiple presenters.
Yeah.
Talk
And we
about it.
have Lee Walker coming this time as well, who he'll talk about all of his complication management and safety.
Lee,
I know he's the best. I want you to come.
I would love to come. Give me the deets. I would love to come. Lee Walker is like this. Speaking of life changing, like he has changed my career. Thought I was hot shit. I was like, oh, I'm so good. And then training under him, I'm like, oh my God. Like you said, complications wise, like he's like, why are you injecting down bone and pure from aperture? Like, what are you doing? Like, do you know where the vessel is? No, like you don't know where the vessel is. And so I think he's just absolutely incredible. Like
Yeah,
my
and
skull
he's
protector.
so humble and he always asks questions. He never believes something just to believe it. He researches it on his own. I mean, that's what creates a mind and
Oh
someone
yeah,
that propels the field.
he's
And
amazing.
he loves to teach. That's like comes out of his pores.
Honestly emulate everything he does because I'm like, if I can be 1 ounce of him and give back to our injector community, then I will feel amazing because he's just, even my consultation, like the ATP, the way I speak to patients has changed because of him. Like everything has like a why behind it, which patients love. Like I'm not just saying, oh yeah, you need 3 syringes. It's like, this is how you're aging. You're losing your maxilla. You're losing your middle. You're losing your superficial fat. This is why we need to replace superficially. And the patient's like, you can see the light bulb go off. They're like, oh. And they're like, no one has ever spoken to me this way. I'm so used to someone walking in the room and just injecting me. And I thank you for telling me how I'm aging. So he's made my business go from here to here. He's life changing.
And you are more than 1% of that. You have done that. You have created a
Aw,
huge wave in the industry and changed so many people's lives, obviously.
thank you.
And then tell us a little bit about your Patreon. I cannot believe it's already been almost an hour. A little
I
bit about your
know.
Patreon, how people can find you, what your purpose is, obviously, for that education. We're just
Yeah. I'm not a frugal person. Like I can be bougie. Like I like nice things, don't get me wrong, but I am not a waster. Like I give, instructor Jessica, guys, I give her a hard time because she like throws money away and where I'm like, invest. Like I'm very big into like investing your money and like wealth management in general. And so when it comes to education, I think so many people don't take this the wrong way, people out there, but they spend money on things and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you spending $12,000 for a private training if you're I'm like, go to like a G face, go to like that ultrasound conference. Like that conference is worth its weight in gold. Like because you're gonna learn a tangible skill and it's complication management. Like that's so important. So Patreon is something that I discovered because my husband's a gamer. He's a big poker player, but a gamer. So he used Patreon before any injector did, and he was like, I got in some trouble on Instagram. Someone DM'd me a complication and I DM'd back a response. And long story short, they were involved in a lawsuit. And so my lawyer got involved and was like, Erica, you cannot DM medical advice over the internet. It's like so bad. You need to get another platform. So my husband was like, hey, you should do Patreon. And Libby's like, okay. And so I started my Patreon in 2017, and then it just slowly evolved. And now I have two Patreons. I have one for all the videos, and then one for like consent templates, like all the easy stuff that, I mean, the secret is just get ChatGPT and it does everything for you. So a hack is get ChatGPT, Google all of your consents, take those consents and then hire a lawyer to go through them. But you have like the bare bones, so it's going to save you thousands of dollars of legal fees. That's like my 2 cents. But join one Patreon because it will help you, and then get your info and then quit, because there's no sign-on fee, there's no quitting fee. So I'm big on like, come and get your information. If you're gone for 2 months in Greece, quit and then like re-sign up when you need to. But not that you should train frugally, but don't spend money, I say, on 2 conferences a year. So a big networking one, and then a tangible one like a G-Face or a ultrasound. Anything that's gonna be tangible. Like I love Lee Walker and the Master Injector courses. Yeah. Do one of those, and then do a fun networking one like Aesthetic Next, or the Women's, what is it called? The Am Spa women's one, or like I love the Am Spa ones, because Am Spa is, I think, life changing too. But yeah.
I love it. And it depends on what stage of your career you're into, and what the Patreon is more of, the day-to-day or week-to-week, kind of, these are the bits and pieces of information, but it's more digestible that way too. And you're not as distracted. Mm-hmm. So they all kind of find a place in your educational development.
Yeah. I say it's literally like Google for aesthetics. Like you go on, you Google how to do earlobe filler, or how to do jawline filler. And then you search, you type in there, and then all the videos come up. A lot of Lee Walker on there. I always tell Lee, I'm like, Lee, you need to do a Patreon. Like, people need more Lee. Like I know he has like an online, like the Master Injector, but do you have a Patreon?
I have a Patreon. It's not nearly the size of yours, and it's not a huge.
I join yours.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. There's ultrasound. I have a business one, ultrasound one, and injectables. So just kind of the scope of whatever. I have a lot of people in the business one, and also ultrasound. So those are kind of the two heavier hitters. But again, not nearly to the size of yours, the scope of yours. But you also pour a lot into it. I mean, that's a huge part of your day is your Patreon.
Oh yeah.
I get emails. I'm on yours. I get emails all the time. Injector Bunny posted this and this and this. I was like, this lady.
It's like 4 a.m. Yeah, well, for me, I see something like, normally people pass things on to me and I read an article. I'm like, oh shit, I should not be doing that. Or like, it'll change my practice somehow. I just take that bit of information. Usually I'll buy the article. So I give back to the publisher, like whoever's doing it. So I'm not stealing. And then I ask permission, like, hey, can I share this on my Patreon? They'll say, okay. And I share it. And it's those articles, like evidence-based literature and studies for you. Like, how big is it in your practice? Like, it really does shape the way we do things. And Codafana comes out with something new all the time. It's like, oh shit, that's why I should be injecting my tails perpendicular. Like, you just learn things all the time. But I'm sure with ultrasound, like, what's the number one reason you should learn ultrasound? Like, what is the number one?
Well, that's so hard. I think it's to be able to manage any potential complication. You shouldn't be treating people if you don't know how to fully treat them and anything else that happens. Period. That's why we're professionals. You don't treat someone, then assume someone else is going to take care of anything that happens. So that's the number one. Yeah. But also within that is it allows you to create the best outcome with minimal product, correct placement. It just helps with everything. And it makes you just better with anatomy. I mean, you learn how the muscles move where they are every single day. You're not just doing it at a cadaver course. And by seeing things, you're like, oh, but what about this? And what about that? And you're asking all these questions, which then you go and read. Not everyone's mind works that way. Mine does. I'm always asking questions. I never assume I know the answer. And I'm like, wait, well, where's that muscle again? And why does it look this way? And why does it look that way? And I don't know. It's just fascinating. But I'm a pathologist by background, by training. So I love visuals and I love answers to things and I want to know why.
That also is something it's like epigenetic, but it's the way you're trained. Like for me, my training was at Hopkins, and then from there working at UCSF, where it was you weren't like generalists. Like we worked in like plastics and urology. When we had an issue with a kidney, we didn't try to fix it. We went to or like a internal, like we didn't ever fix things on our own. Like if we needed a nephrostomy tube, like we didn't do that. Like interventional radiology did that. So like we were very good. Like, I think you learn well in the hospital, you learn to punt things in a good way where you're like, I'm not an expert. Like I punt things all the time. Like as injectors, I think we feel forced to do it all. And like, you cannot do it all. Ultrasound is going to give you the guide to know your anatomy. If you do not know your anatomy or how to treat a complication, you're not going to treat that patient. You don't have to fake it to your makeup. But for me, when I don't feel comfortable, I'm like, listen, given your anatomy and given your huge freaking metal plate in your jaw, I'm punting you to, I don't know, plastic surgeon Elizabeth Chance. I want her to take a look. I want her to do some imaging, figure out if you need a deep plate facelift first, and if not, she punts them back to me. Like, go ahead and do the jawline filler. But I think we do that all the time, and those patients are patients for life. Like, they trust you. Your credibility goes from here to here. I never just walk in the room and start like jabbing. I'm always asking you, like, well, why do you want this? Why didn't you like your Botox before? What happened? Like, when you had that VO, what was going on? Like, I don't want to just start jabbing you if you had a VO that tells me like your artery, either the injector was terrible or your anatomy is not ideal. So always asking why is the best thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I think with, liquid rhinoplasty, I don't do them anymore. Could I? Because I have ultrasound, yes. Can I dissolve? Yes. But I truly think that is such a high risk area. I'd rather have Alexander Rivkin do it and then potentially be able to do surgery, open the patient up, because that's the worst case scenario, right? I just realize it's too high risk for me. And people need to, I think, start thinking more that way. And if you don't have an ultrasound, just have the resources for someone. I do things virtually all the time. I train people on ultrasound virtually. I help dissolve virtually. So just having the resources.
But also you want to, the older you get, the more experience you get and the more businesses you own, the more liability you take on, the more likely, like for me, I don't do noses either because I'm like, I want to sleep well. Like, I want to go to bed tonight and not have to take a Xanax. Like, I really want to sleep well without drugs. Like, that's what I want. So I think that's like where my mindset's at. Like, I take on difficult patients, yes, but I only take them on if they're easygoing and they kind of are working with me. When someone has red flags, like, just be like, listen, I think you need to see a surgeon first, then come back to me. And it's way easier.
And the phrase I use now is, I understand what you're saying. I hear you. I don't think I can get you there. And so this is what I recommend. It's that transparency. I hear what you're saying. I don't see that. And I don't think I can achieve that. And it's like the patient's going to say, well, okay, I guess I get it. There's nothing you can really say to that. Yeah. And maybe you're saying it because there's red flags. Maybe you're saying it because it's not as many red flags, but they need surgery. So yeah.
I mean, everyone has their own reality.
I know. Yeah. But this has been so good. I don't want to take any more of your time. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I'm excited to see you. I'm definitely going to come to your conference. Send me the details. Okay. Yeah, and I want to send stuff to my Patreon people too. So send me like the link. Okay. It's October, right?
It's the end of October. So I think WALC is like, isn't it the 14th or something weekend? I don't remember.
When's October 5th, beginning of October. So yours is the end of October.
Okay, and we're the end. So we're the 24th through the 26th. So that's actually better. That gives some time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll send
it's in Boston.
It's in Boston. Yeah, it's in the seaport.
Boston that time of year is stunning. It is like the most beautiful. Oh my God, it's the most beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So, okay, so I'll send you all that information. And then obviously for new people, tell them how to find you if they don't know already.
Injector Bunny for my Instagram. Patreon's Injector Bunny. The business one is Injector Bunny 11. Just get it. And then to train with me is Aesthetic. It's Wasim and I own a training company called Aesthetic Intel. So aesthetic-intel.com.
Perfect. I love it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for listening. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time.
Yay. Bye, guys.